What's the hurry? Why the gloom? Your seed is safe within her womb. Await and trust now is the key, for life will bloom most readily. This magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be, there it is done. Ostara, spring, renewal, but also a reminder to be patient because the cauldron is still bubbling. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is our Ostara seasonal spring altar and we're going to have a quick chat about it before I break out our Seasons of the Witch seasonal reading. So let's jump right in, going down the ladder. We have my plant. Now, you guys remember, I'll put it up here in the corner, but when I did my balance and prosperity and balancing the masculine and feminine and masculine energies, this was the symbol that came to me in my meditation that I used. I'll show you a picture of that spell, because the funny thing is, these seeds I planted with this new Ostara energy coming in grew the opposite way, masculine and feminine. Like in the candle in the picture, the black candle on the right side is burning lower, and it came through balanced because now I have the plants coming through, which go right along with this. I planted my intentions in it, watched it grow. These ones happen to be Luck and Linda. There's a male and a female. Classic. Yes, plants have female and male energies. It's a thing, but let's see what else. Oh, my daughter named these Luck and Linda. And ironically, she didn't know, because I don't go around chatting about my spell work with my kids all the time. She didn't know that I use this for a luck and prosperity spell. And she named it Luck, L-U-C. But a side note, I use pumpkin seeds and gourd seeds. Gourds for grounding. They help me stay grounded. And pumpkins, represent abundance, stability, and security. I use them a lot in protection and prosperity and abundance magic. But let's see. Also, what's this one? I think there was something else I was going to say about it. Nope. Don't think so. Okay. Next over, we have my witch's basket. I had painted some eggs, which I'll show you. Picture of me doing some non-toxic paint, because I am going to be leaving these outside for offerings and blessings because of, one, because of my practice, but it kind of correlates to the season because of the goddess mythology story, or the goddess story of, you know, the spring goddess who, there was a bird had died and she brought it back to life, but it came back to life as a rabbit. But anyways, at the end of the story, to give its gratitude, it laid eggs, these beautiful colored eggs, and it gave it as an offering to the goddess as a thank you. So we'll get into the meaning of the hair when we get to the spell candle. But as you can see, I painted all these different colors that correlate to a spring spell we'll be coming out with here soon, that I want to do closer to this solar eclipse coming in this Monday, because it's happening during the new moon, or the energy's coming in right when the dark moon, before the new moon hits, and that energy is dark. And as you can see when we get to our altar card, we're still incubating here. But anyways, they all represent colors for things that I'm working with, some symbols I'm working with. This one I think I'm going to bury in my garden to help manifest and take root. You know, all the symbols I've worked with this year. That one has a bunch of symbols on it. Oh yes, I forgot to mention, underneath you'll notice on the bottom of the basket, I charge that energy with lemons. I use lemons around the house. You can use a lemon. If you've seen from my previous videos, you can use lemons, fresh lemons around your house to soak up energy, and if one starts to go yucky or green or bad, you know you need to cleanse. Well, I have numerous lemons that I had soaked up positive energy because they dried all the way out, did what they're supposed to do, like, you know, I said in the past, and were hard and, you know, pretty and golden, and a pretty golden brown, and no bad energy in them. I charged them since last year's Letha energy or summer solstice energy, put them in the bottom of the basket as a basis, and then you see the flower that I had made around Lunasa with corn husks, and I braided my intentions and all those happy, glad feelings that I had harvested last summer, and put them into the basket to charge my eggs, along with anointing them with my witch's oil. And of course, we have next up my protective intuition burn mix. On top here, though, I have a gourd bowl. And I've decided to turn this into an incantation bowl, which I'll show you a picture of what I'm talking about. It was a Hebrew tradition, and more than just Hebrew. A lot of different other cultures did it too, but was to ward off evil spirits, ward off, you know, the bad juju stuff. But then we have one of my flower vinegars I made, which I'll show you the process of it being made. Flower vinegars are made of the flowers or whatever fruits or vegetables you want to use, and a certain amount of water and sugar. It's a calculation depending on how big of a container you're making, but you can see I made these from some flowers that I received around in bulk, and right around Valentine's Day, actually. And you can see I thought it would turn a pretty pink, but it didn't. It turned this beautiful orange, and that is a gourd lid on top of there, by the way, because I've already made it and it's been strained, as you can see. But it's a beautiful orange that matches the beautiful color on that card. Okay, this reminds me of being patient. You know, spring has started. Everybody's want to be like rabbits and just run, run, run. But we're still incubating what we just started this year. So to be patient, it's coming. No need to rush. You can't rush perfection. Now I know where that came from. Next up we have, of course, the Beltane cards we're using, because the Seasons of the Witch Oracle doesn't have the Ostara one out yet. Super excited for when they come out with. I'm hoping this year. But my witch's rosary, my mala beads. Okay, I'll show a picture of me, or video of me making these. But I wanted to make a witch's rosary or meditation necklace for the year. So I was led by intuition at the beginning of the year to use the bloodstone beads, okay? The bloodstone is a representative of the dragon, and this is the year of the dragon. It is a stone of courage. It enhances chi, or life force energy, and it also represents inner wisdom. Okay? It represents also in Christianity the blood of Jesus when he is crucified hitting the granite or the stone. So it also has that symbolism. But it's also the year 2024. And this goes along with my yin-yang symbol as well, and I didn't even know that. Love it when magic does that. But 2024, 2 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8, which is the infinity symbol. Balancing of the masculine energy and that chi, or life force energy, increasing our power. Anyways, essentially what I did was I took, and I used the base of it, a Bridget's cross. But I chose these beads, and I did a mala type style because 108 beads are on a mala necklace. When you meditate, you hit, you know, each one, kind of like a witch's rosary. Same difference. I used the same thing, kind of like, acted like a magpie bird to combine these. But we have 108 beads because 8 plus 1 equals 9. And 9, again, goes with that life force, chi, energy. And I also have it connected. There are 5 parts for the 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. It also has clear quartz and smoky quartz, which I use to move energy. It's very Just try it. Try once with clear quartz in your right hand, smoky quartz in your left, and just feel the energy. If you feel energies, it's epic. But attached to the cycles of the moon, attached to the seasons, and the zodiac signs. Okay. At the end of this video, we'll pull a card, get a jump start on our seasonal tarot reading. But going back in, you'll see back here, we have one of my little mini cauldrons. I love these budget cauldrons. I get them cheap at the dollar store. They work wonders. And whenever I feel like manifesting that day, there's a little chant that I do. But I have a scented oil that I use to go along with the season. Herbs to go along with the season, or what I'm trying to manifest or trying to bring in that day. Right now, we have a little clove, little orange, little rose, little water lily scent, green aventurine crystal, a little bit of moon water, full moon water, and the such. But you can also, if you look at my other cauldron, I'll show you guys, wax melts. You can use a scented wax melt to melt your crystals or herbs, whatever you want to use in. And once it dries up, you can pop it out and you have yourself a little disc or a bowl. Side note. But to our Ostara candle, we have, first up, we have serpentine, which I use for grounding, serpentine stone. Hematite, which I'm using with this candle to connect to the moon. Because the moon, you know, the solar eclipse coming up, you know, the moon's going to cover the sun, but they're saying that there's rust on the moon. You can look it up. It's a thing because there's hematite. And hematite is the result of some kind of oxidization of like water and air that causes it. Well, hematite, I use for protection, but right now I'm going to use it to connect to the moon because they say they don't know why the moon has this hematite. And some even say that there's blood on the moon because hema is Latin for blood. Side note. But we have brain fart, witch fart. We have amethyst. Amethyst, I use it for grounding. Grounding, not grounding. Grounding for connection to my inner wisdom, for my intuition, okay, and power. But back to the base, we have grass. And grass is a symbol of growth, fertility, abundance, and surprisingly enough, humility, that humble. We have to stay humble to manifest the most. And also, I always use my witch, my goddess oil that I made, which has the clear quartz in it, the frankincense and myrrh. Or no, that one doesn't have the frankincense and myrrh. Yes, it does. Frankincense, myrrh oil, the clear quartz, the smoky quartz, and a few other things, which I said in the other video. Back to the candle. But then we have eggshells. And I forgot to mention when I showed you guys my painted eggs, that eggs are representative of fertility, new life, and they're the symbol of the cosmos itself and the sun, because the yellow yolk represents rebirth. Let's see, moving on. I did use peppermint down here. I love the peppermint growing in my garden. I don't know if I have a picture. If I do, I'll show you. But it's a beautiful green and purple coming up. It's just so pretty. It's drying up now, but you can see how it matches perfectly. And peppermint is representative of the masculine, Venus. And Venus is very strong in the energies right now, which we'll get into in readings this week. It is currently situated in Aries, side note. But back to the peppermint. It's also related to air, okay? The element of air. But moving up, we have spiders. Spiders I work with. I'll show you the egg offering I made for Charlotte, my garden window spider, who is always in my garden altar window connecting my magic. It is a beautiful thing, so I made her own egg. But spider energy represent creativity, interconnectedness, resilience, and its web here represents the profound spiritual energies it embodies. Okay. The web is actually rabbit hair. I know that's funny. I know. I know. But rabbit hair represents the moon, divination, and rebirth, and ancestors. Moving off a notch, we have symbol. Symbol of the goddess that I'm using on this candle is like Isis's rattle. Okay, I'm connecting with goddess energy in the vibration of the goddess, so to speak. You'll notice, well, I don't know if you can notice on here, but there are 9 notes or round points on there. Again, 9, life number, life force number. But moving up, we have eggshells on top. Eggshells are all about the season. And back to when I was making this candle, as you can see, it's made out of 2 candles, but the top candle, I was trying to make it, you can see me popping it out here in my granny makeshift candle mold, but like a more of a purple color I wanted to make it. And it turned out a lovely pink with a dark pink on bottom, if you can see that. But moving back a notch, we have the Sabbath, or Will of the Year, which does get anointed in the center with herbs that I'm working with for the season and the oil that I'm working with. And I decided to use my wand to point towards which Sabbath it is. My wand is made out of an elder stick that my kids made me, or found me. And I added the crystals, which consist of black tourmaline, clear quartz, and hematite, actually. My little divination board that has the pendulum on it. And what do I have drying here? My mint and my peppermint and violets to go in our Poppets spell, which is another video that we're coming out with. Oh, yes. And while we're on that note, look at Bridget. Here she was, back on our inbox altar, looking sad. I saved her where she was sent to me. Her buds had broken off from a pretty mini white rose bush, which connected me to my grandmother, my granny magic, and the fae. But she's came back. Look how beautiful she is. Getting ready to bloom, blossoming with that awesomeness, and getting ready to go outside. But this is the poppet for this year. What we're going to do. This is a gourd that I painted. I'll get her out here, actually. That I painted to look like a swan to represent the goddess, the mother, the vibration on it, of course, the black and the white for the feminine and the masculine to represent that. And the nose is made of strawberry quartz, which increases spiritual growth, and it's a conduit for accessing more profound states of consciousness. See, we have the witch's goddess oil back there, which I've showed you guys before. Here is another vinegar. Now, I didn't mention this about the vinegar earlier, but symbolically, it is associated with purification and cleansing and transformation. Examples of it in ancient Romans cleansed it, and they cleansed themselves with it before entering their sacred spaces. Slow down, April. Mercury retrograde is like catching up. I'm tired, but it's hard to fend off that energy when you're tired. But it also was used to cleanse not just negative emotions, but negative energies and negative objects. I personally am going to be using it to help. The orange I'm going to use to help ward and banish. And I think this one I will use to help cleanse my altar spaces, because I use it. I'll show you guys me making it. It has violets, of course, the lemon and the sugar. And I did end up adding a little bit of lemon juice to help bring out the color. Plus lemon, attracts, helps absorb. But it's turning out just the prettiest color. I love it. Okay, now, one of my favorite things, my witch's divination mirror, which I wish you guys could have seen this when I first put the violets and the mint and the peppermint on there before it dried. But, I wanted it to dry. That was the whole point. But you can see, I went and harvested some out of my garden. You can see, I'll show you the basket of them here. The beautiful colors of them. That's what I used to make this. But the mint, I already showed you the peppermint mint, but I put mint on it because mint attracts wealth and cleanses. Is very strong for protection. Also counteracts negative energy and attacks. I watched my grandmother use it. You know, that granny magic again. She used it a lot to help calm, though, and for belly issues. And violets are good for inspiration, mystical awareness. I have worked with them since I was a child, and I did watch my grandma work with them as well. And then you can see that I painted the back of a glass black. And I also painted pinnacles on the back to, help seal that mirror so nothing bad could get through it. And that goes to my witch's stone or my hag stone or the Eye of Odin. I've explained this before, where they are stones that are made from the natural energy of water, where over time it slowly erodes that hole naturally with natural energy through it. But it helps to trap evil spirits that could come through. And also, ironically, people used to wear it on red string long ago to protect against witches. But I could see if they were wanting to protect against negative ones. But it's very good for that, but it's also good for liminal spaces, that connection between the realms, okay? Next, we have, my little egg I made for the offering to the goddess. Thanks for the symbols that I've used around the year that have helped, that I made out of actually some of the wax from this candle that, I did. And anything in there right now is a little bit of mugwort. My moon water, of course, going to be in everything. This Queen of Wands card. All right. Dude, I do believe this is going to be the first Yule spirit, because I always do the Witch's Carol, which is my version of A Christmas Carol. And 3 spirits always come to me, and they typically start at summer solstice. And I thought one started earlier this year because this card was laying behind my bookshelf of all my witch books and stuff, and where I keep my tarot cards, like it'd been there for a while, which is strange because my tarot cards are all in containers with lids and cannot get out. I promise that. But actually, when Ostara moved in, that energy moved in when the moment that the sun moves into Aries, okay? And the sun's still in Aries until later in April when it moves into Taurus. But it is much associated with that Aries. And side note, Aries is going to be coming up and going, the moon will be in Aries. The season will be in Aries. And all this Venus stuff and this Jupiter stuff happening is, there's this big change coming. A lot of fire energy, a lot of that creative energy. But anyways, I am working with, put this card on the altar because I'm working with the Queen of Wands energy. That courage, that ambition, that protective energy. And I do think this is ancestral for me. Actually, I know from the meditation I did tonight, trust me, this goddess candle's working. I could feel the vibrations more. The intuition's picking up, faster. And I'm saying intuition, I know, instead of intuition. It's a thing. But the candle I'm going to be using as a spell during this season to, connect with the Queen of Wands energy. Connected to the season energy, connected to fire and that stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I am going to be heading off right after we get you a card, but I will see you guys in the reading. Blessed to be. Maypole, I am fertile in what I seed. for there is reason to dance and drink upon the riches I receive.